Last time, the stone monkey crossed the gates of hell. Today, we see him ascend to the pillars of heaven. But is this a reward or some kind of cage for him? Chapter 4, Part 1. The Monkey King is appointed protector of the horses. The golden star of Venus, sometimes called the Great White Planet, left the depths of the cave with the handsome Monkey King, and they ascended together on their clouds. As Sun Wukong's somersault cloud was exceptionally fast, he reached the southern gate of heaven first, leaving the golden star of Venus behind. Just as he was putting away his cloud to go in, his way was barred by the heavenly guardian Virudaka and his powerful heavenly soldiers Liu, Gu, Bi, Deng, Xing, Shang and Tao, who blocked the gate of heaven with their spears and swords and refused to let him in. "This old golden star of Venus is a trickster," said Sun Wukong. "He invited me here, so he has no business to have kept me out with spears and swords." Just as he was kicking up a row, the star suddenly arrived. Sun Wukong flung his accusation at him. "Why did you play this trick on me, you old fogey? You told me you came with an edict of amnesty from the Jade Emperor to invite me here, so why did you arrange for these people not to let me through the gate of heaven?" The golden star of Venus laughed. "Don't be angry, your majesty. You've never been here before. Your name is not on the books here, and the heavenly soldiers have never met you. Of course they could not let you in just for this asking. But when you've seen His Celestial Majesty and been given office among the immortals, you'll be able to come and go as you wish, and nobody will try to stop you." "Be that as it may," said Sun Wukong, "I'm not going in." The golden star of Venus didn't want to let him go and asked him to go with him in spite of it all. As they approached the gates, the star shouted, "Heavenly officers of the gates of heaven, sergeants and soldiers, let us in. This is an immortal from the lower world, and I am carrying an edict from the Jade Emperor summoning him here." Only then did the heavenly king Shen Shang and his soldiers withdraw their arms and stand back. Now the Monkey King began to trust the golden star of Venus. He walked slowly in with him and looked at the view. Truly, it was his first ascent to the upper world. Sudden entry into paradise. 10,000 beams of golden light shone with a reddish glow. 1,000 strands of propitious vapour puffed out purple mist. See the southern gate of heaven, deep green, crystalline, shimmering bright, studded with jewels. On either side stood scores of heavenly marshals, tall as the roof beams next to the pillars, holding metal-tipped bows and banners. All around stood gods in golden armour, brandishing their clubs and halberds, wielding their cutlasses and swords. The outside was remarkable enough, but the inside astonished him. Here were several mighty pillars, round which coiled tawny bearded dragons, their golden scales gleaming in the sun. There were long bridges where strutted phoenixes, brilliant of plumage and with bright red crests. A rosy glow shone with heavenly light. Thick green mists obscured the pole star. In this heaven there are 33 heavenly palaces. the Palace of Clouds Dispersed, the Vaisravana Palace, the Palace of the Five Laws, the Sun Palace, the Palace of Flowery Bliss. Every palace had golden animals on its roof. Then there were 72 precious halls: the Hall of Morning Audience, the Hall of Rising into Space, the Precious Light Hall, the Hall of the Heavenly Kings, the Hall of the Master of Miracles. Jade unicorns on every column. On the terrace of the Star of Longevity grew flowers that never wither. Beside the stove of decocting elixir were herbs that stay green forever. In front of facing the sage pavilion, crimson gauze clothes glittered like stars. Lotus hats shone with gold and jade, jade hairpins and pearl-sewn shoes, golden seals on purple cords. As the golden bell tolled, the 3 classes of divinities approached the steps and submitted memorials. As the heavenly drum was beaten, 10,000 sage kings attended the Jade Emperor. Then they entered the Hall of Miraculous Mist, where jade doors were studded with gold, and phoenixes danced before the crimson gates. Winding arcades, everywhere carved in open work, layer on layer of eaves, with dragons and phoenixes soaring. On top was a majestically purple, bright, perfectly round and dazzling, golden gourd-shaped finial. Below, fans hung from the hands of heavenly consorts, while jade maidens proffered magic clothes. Ferocious the heavenly generals guarding the court. Majestic the immortal officials protecting the throne. In the middle were set crystal dishes, filled to overflowing with great monad pills, agate jars in which stood twisted coral trees. All the wonderful things in heaven were there, none of which are seen on earth. Golden gates, silver chariots, and a purple palace. Precious plants, jade flowers, and jasper petals. The jade hairs of the princes at court ran past the altar. The golden rooks of the sages present flew down low. The Monkey King was fated to come to heaven, rather than be sullied by the mortal world. The golden star of Venus led the handsome Monkey King to the outside of the Hall of Miraculous Mist. He went straight into the imperial presence without waiting to be summoned, and did bow to the throne. Sun Wukong stood bolt upright beside him, not bothering with any court etiquette, but just concentrating on listening to the golden star of Venus make his report to the Jade Emperor. In obedience to the divine edict, your subject has brought the demon immortal here. The Jade Emperor lowered his curtain and asked, "And which of you is the demon immortal?" "Me," replied Sun Wukong, only now taking a slight bow. The faces of the officials went white with horror as they exclaimed, "What an impudent savage! Death's too good for him." In reply to this, the Jade Emperor announced, Sun Wukong is a demon immortal of the lower world who has only just obtained human form, so he is not acquainted with court procedure. We shall forgive him this time." "We thank you for your mercy," said the immortal ministers. Only then did Sun Wukong express his respect and thanks by bowing very low. The Jade Emperor ordered his immortal civil and military officials to find a vacancy in some department for Sun Wukong. The Star Lord Wuchu stepped forward from the side and reported, "There are no vacancies in any of the palaces, halls and departments of heaven except for a superintendent in the imperial stables." "Then make him protector of the horses," ordered the Jade Emperor. All the ministers thanked him for his mercy, apart from Sun Wukong, who just expressed his respect with a bow. The Jade Emperor then told the Wood Planet to take him to the imperial stables. The Wood Planet accompanied the delighted Monkey King to his post and then went back to the palace. The Monkey King then called together the deputy and the assistant superintendent, the bookkeeper, the grooms, and all the other officials, high and low, to find out about the duties of his department. He found that he had to look after 1,000 heavenly horses, chestnuts and stallions, red hair and faster than light, wind chaser and matchless, flying wing and galloping mist, lazy whirlwind and red lightning, coursers that can cover 300 miles, to name but a few. All these fine horses were neighing in the wind, chasing the lightning, mighty in spirit, pouring the mist, climbing the clouds, great in their strength. The Monkey King looked through the register and counted the horses. In the stables, the bookkeeper was responsible for ordering the fodder. The head groom was in charge of currying the horses, chopping up and cooking the fodder, and giving them water. The deputy superintendent and his assistant helped to oversee the work. The protector of the horses looked after his charges, sleeping neither by day nor by night. It is true that he fooled around by day, but at night he looked after the animals with great diligence, waking them up and making them eat whenever they fell asleep, and leading those still on their feet to the trough. At the sight of him, the heavenly horses would prick up their ears and paw the ground, and they became fat and plump. We will leave Sun Wukong here in charge of the heavenly horses. Will he continue to enjoy this heavenly existence? Join us next time to find out. Goodbye.